The Apple credit card is one of the most popular credit cards in America, and that's because, well, it comes from Apple. And we use Apple products so much in our everyday lives. I'm recording this on an iPhone. I have my MacBook Pro right here. You're probably watching this on an iPhone. So because this card comes from Apple, people automatically assume it's a good product. And also this card's really easy to get approved for. But not a lot of people actually look into what it gives you and consider if this is actually a card worth getting. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through everything you need to know. So by the end, you'll be able to make an informed decision. And if you decide the Apple card isn't for you, I'm going to give you the 3 best alternatives. Also, Goldman Sachs, the bank that backs the Apple card, is leaving their partnership with Apple. So I'll be explaining the consequences this is going to have and how this card might change moving forward. First, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos on credit cards and personal finance. So let's first go over the application process of this credit card. Like I said, it's really easy to get approved, and you can get approved with just over a 600 credit score. And the limit you get approved for is really going to depend on your credit score, how long you've been building history for, because I've seen people get as low as a 500 credit limit all the way up to a $20,000 credit limit. But most of the time, they're not going to be super stingy, and as long as you have decent credit, you're going to get a pretty healthy limit. And one definite plus for this credit card is there's never going to be any kind of fees. That means no late fees, no foreign transaction fees, and no annual fee. And that no annual fee one is the most important part, because all the benefits you're getting with this card, you're getting for free. Now, before I tell you what those rewards are, let's go over the reason that people really love this card is because of the look of the card itself. This is going to be a really heavy card. It's going to be 15 grams. Just to put that in perspective, your average card's only going to weigh about 5 grams. So this is going to be 3 times heavier than 90% of other credit cards. Also, this card is made out of titanium, which is really cool, and it has a really nice white finish over it. Your name's going to be lasered into the card, so this is probably going to be the most fun credit card to slap down on that table. But let's talk about the rewards with this credit card, because that's going to be one of the most important things. The first thing that it's going to give you is 2% on every single Apple Pay purchase. And now over 90% of all retailers have Apple Pay, so you're going to be able to earn these rewards a lot of different places. And most websites have them too. They also have a lot of companies they partnered up with that will give you 3% back. These are going to be Panera Bread, Nike, Walgreens, T-Mobile, Exxon and Mobil, as well as Ace Hardware too. Now you do have to use Apple Pay to get that 3% back. But if you get gas at Exxon or Mobil, that's a nice reward that you're earning for some gas. And before we get into the negatives of this card, let me give you one more thing that I absolutely love about the Apple card. When you get approved for the Apple card, you're also going to get a high yield savings account that comes with it. And initially this high yield savings account launched at 4.14%, but it recently just moved up to 4.4%. So those are super competitive rates and definitely a good place to keep your emergency funds in or any of your savings. This is also a safe savings account right now because it's backed by Goldman Sachs. And this is only available to people that have the Apple credit card. Their credit card makes it really easy to save money because you can automatically have the cash back that you're earning from your credit card go into your savings account and earn that high interest. Another thing that I love about this card is it has a super clean interface. Just like all Apple's products, it's really well designed, and a lot of other credit cards spend most of their money on rewards, so they don't put as much time or energy into making their app or software, but Apple really did a good job with this. And if you watch any of my other videos, you know how important it is to pay your credit card bill in full every single month, because if you don't, then you're going to be paying a bunch of money in interest. But a reason that I love the Apple Card software is it's going to tell you how much money you're going to lose if you're not paying that full amount. So this could be a good card for beginners to teach them how to use a credit card. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention about this credit card, which is probably one of the most important things, is that you get 3% back on all your Apple purchases. Whether you go online and buy stuff from Apple like a new phone or computer, or one of their Apple subscriptions like iCloud or Apple Music. So if you're spending a lot of money on Apple or you have some recurring subscriptions with them, it might not be a bad idea to get this card and put your subscriptions or Apple purchases on it. Also, there's a pre-approval program so you can apply for this card without getting a hard inquiry on your credit report. And if you don't get approved, there's something called Path to Apple. So they're going to show you exactly what you need to do and how many months it's going to take. So if your credit's not good enough, they'll essentially give you the steps you need to take to improve your credit to get this card. Now let's go over some of the downsides and some of the changes that's going to be coming to this card. So one of the biggest things that's happening to this card is, like I said, Goldman Sachs is leaving them. So Apple's going to have to find a new bank to back their credit card. And the reason that Goldman Sachs is leaving them is because they've already lost $1 to $3 billion in the process of sponsoring the Apple card. So really, it's just not profitable for Goldman Sachs to keep doing business with Apple. So in about 6 months, you're going to see Apple get a new sponsor for their credit card. And right now they're in talks with some really good and big banks like Chase and American Express. I think they're leaning towards American Express right now, which would be a really good move for both of them because American Express is super reputable and has some of the most popular credit cards in the game. And they might be able to rework this Apple card to make it a little bit better. But the next thing is something that I absolutely hate about this credit card, and that's that you're going to have to use Apple Pay to get that 2% back, because if you don't, you're just going to get 1% back, meaning if you use that beautiful titanium card that they're giving you, you're essentially essentially going to get penalized for doing that. So if you want better rewards, you're going to have to use your phone to get it, and then that credit card is just going to be sitting at your house or in your wallet not doing anything. The next thing that I hate is that there's no sign-up bonus. With most other credit cards, you're going to get a really good sign-up bonus of $200 or more, but Apple doesn't give you anything, which is really disappointing, and hopefully if American Express takes over the Apple Card, they're going to fix that, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Another potential con is that you have to use it with iPhones. So if you're an Android user, you're not going to be able to get this credit card or use Apple Pay because you have a Samsung. And that's not a big deal for me because I always use Apple, like I said. And if you're watching this, you're probably using an iPhone too, but that just makes it inaccessible to a lot of people. And the main reason that I'm not getting this card is because I don't really buy anything from Apple. I'm cheap, so I buy most of my stuff on Back Market, which is just a refurbished electronics place, but you can get iPhones or MacBooks that are barely used for like half the price. And the other reason that I'm not getting it is that there's way better options for credit cards out there. To give you just one example, you can look at the Citi Double Cash. That's going to give you a $200 sign-up bonus, and also you're going to get 2% back on every single one of your purchases without having to do anything. So you can use a physical card, you can put it in your mobile wallet. It doesn't matter. There's nothing extra or special that you have to do to get that 2% back like the Apple Card. And this is just one of the examples. There's tons of credit cards out there that'll give you 2% on all your purchases without having to do anything special like use Apple Pay. The next reason why is there's another credit card called the Kroger Rewards World Elite MasterCard that's going to give you 5% back on every single one of your mobile wallet purchases, which is more than double of what Apple is going to give you. And also if you have a Samsung or an Android, you can use this too because it works with all mobile wallets. So you're going to easily get a ton of value from this card. But the only problem with this card is that you're only going to be earning that 5% back on the first $3,000 every year, which is still a pretty good amount. But if you're spending even more than that, there's another credit that'll give you even better perks than the Amazon card will. And that's the US Bank Altitude Reserve. Now this does come with a $400 annual fee, but before that scares you off, you're going to get $325 worth of statement credits for restaurants, dining, takeout, or any hotels or travel. So that easily makes up most of it and just leaves $75. But this card's also going to give you lounge access and TSA pre-check and global entry. And while giving you all that, it's going to give you 3 points on every dollar spent using your mobile wallet. So this is going to give you more than the Apple Card's going to give you. Let me know your guys' opinion on the Apple Card and if you're going to get it or you regret getting it. If you want to see some other good alternative credit cards, go check out my channel after this video.